Hey guys, back with another video, and it's time to talk about a video essay in mind. Bit of a tragic incident, which I'm going to be covering today on a video essay. But I'm happy to bring back video essays. If you guys get a lot of likes and a lot of views, I'll continue them. Because the reason why I stopped last time was because they were just not getting a lot of views. So back with video essays, and the incident that I'm talking about mine was a very tragic incident that happened at the 1994 World Cup. If you didn't know, I'll give you another clue. Colombia, 1994 World Cup, and I was a player, and we're talking about a player in mind, Andre Escobar. And if you so, I'm going to continue on the topic, but I just want to say thanks for all the support. I'm making this video before I go to Germany and France, but what you see is, I think I will be, I will already be in Germany and France posting it. But let's talk about it. So let's just give a quick recap of what happened. So here we go. So Andre Escobar, he was born in Medellin on March 13th, 1967. He grew up in a mid-class family. Okay. He attended college. He participated in football teams before becoming a player at Atlético Nacional. Atlético Nacional. And he was pretty good. He played He started at Atlético Nacional from 1986 to 1989. Then he went to Young Boys, the Swiss team, for one season, 1990. Then he went back to Atlético Nacional in 1990 to 1994. His international career was actually pretty well. He made his debut in 1988 for Colombia. And he played for Colombia in the 1989 Copa America, 1990 World Cup, and the 1991 Copa America, but did not play in any of the 1994 World Cup qualification campaigns, but this somehow still got called up for the World Cup. But now let's talk about leading up to the 1994 World Cup. So leading up to the 1994 World Cup, there's actually a lot of hype for Colombia because Colombia topped their group. There's been two groups for the qualification for the World Cup. In South America, there's Group A, which had 4 teams, and Group A had 5 teams. Colombia topped Group A over Argentina, and Argentina actually won a World Cup in 1986, won 78, and finished second in 90. And Colombia beat them both times. They beat them 2-1 against Argentina, and then trashed them 5-0. Colombia beat Argentina 5-0 away from home. That was like, I thought that was crazy in Buenos Aires. And they topped ahead of Argentina. So going into the World Cup, there's a lot of hype around Colombia, and Colombians were very excited that this could be like their first big World Cup. Because look, they only made the World Cup in 1962 and 1990. While like Brazil and Argentina had made a lot of World Cups. So they're really excited going to this World Cup, and rightly so. And the World Cup obviously will be hosted in the U.S. And their group, it was pretty easy. They got Group A alongside the U.S., Switzerland, and Romania. All teams that, I mean, they're pretty good, but like they haven't had that big of a success. Like USA, yeah, they made it third in the 1930 World Cup, but that was 60 years ago. Romania, I don't know anything about Romanian history, and Switzerland's like always been average. So this is the first game. The World Cup began on June 18th, 1994. The first game, it didn't go off to a good start. Romania scored first in the 15th minute, giving Romania the lead against Colombia. Then they got a second goal, 2-0 for Romania, a goal from Hagi, the Romanian legend. But then Valencia, Adolfo Valencia, got a goal in the 43rd minute to make it 2-1 at halftime. Unfortunately, though, the Colombians, they couldn't get a second goal to at least get a point. They conceded third in the 89th minute in the dying moments and lost 3-1 in their opening game. And on the other side, the U.S. had tied to Switzerland 1-1. And currently at the moment, the Colombia were actually bottom of the group. And by the way, back then, actually, I didn't actually know this. Back then, third place could still get into the round of 16. It was like it was the top, there were 6 teams that got third. who the top like 3 or 4 got to go on to the round of 16. The top 3 who had like the most points. Second game time. So going to the second game, Switzerland had beaten Romania 4-1. But this is the game where the tragic incident happened. United States versus Colombia in Pasadena County in Los Angeles. So going into this game, Colombia and the Colombian fans were really high because they needed to get a win. At this point, they needed a win. Romania had lost. USA did tie Switzerland, but they need a win. If they don't get a win here, if they lose, they're out. If they lose, they're out. Plain and simple. So into the game. It's going pretty well. Andre Escobar and himself thought that it'll just be a regular game as normal. Fortunately, the game did not start out that way. 35 minutes in, the tragic incident happened. I'm going to try to get a tape of it if I can. Andre Escobar conceded an own goal in the 35th minute, and everyone went livid, basically. Every probably Colombian fan went livid that an own goal. In this offense, though, I will say, there's not much else he could have done. The guy crossed it in, and he was just trying to defend, because if he didn't do that, then the guy next to him would have just had an easy slot in. So he tried to put his leg out to stop it, to stop the other guy from scoring, but instead the goalkeeper was ready for him. He wasn't ready for him to do that, so he went like the other way where the other guy was. But unfortunately, there wasn't enough time. Andre Escobar conceded an own goal, and Colombia went down 1-0 to the U.S. Who, if the U.S. is winning against Colombia, then oh my. So yeah, and then it didn't get any better. In the 52nd minute after halftime, a guy called Ernest Stewart scored a second in the 56th minute, 2-0 to U.S. against Colombia. The Colombians were living it, rightly so. I mean, this is a team that's only made 2 World Cups, and this was right at the beginning. They only got 2 World Cups right in the beginning, and then they hosted the World Cup in 1994. And fun fact, by the way, I think they had the largest attendance ever for a World Cup, average. But at that point, I think most Colombians were ready to throw anything at the screen, and they didn't want to watch it because they were getting knocked out of the World Cup to USA. And so, yeah, the game didn't get any better. They conceded one. They got 1 goal in the 90th minute from Valencia, but at that point the damage had already been done. Colombia lost 2-1 to the U.S. and were out of the 1994 World Cup. And there was something else. They couldn't get through because they had 0 points. The U.S. now had 4. Romania had how many did Romania have? Oh no, technically they could still get through Romania, but Romania had 3 points still. Romania had 3. Switzerland had 4, if I'm right. Yeah, 4, and the U.S. had 4. And Colombia had nothing. And so yeah, their goal difference was already -3. So that was pretty much all done. And Colombians went livid, which we're going to hear about in a little bit. But the last game went well. The Colombia won 2-0 against Switzerland. The U.S. lost to Romania 1-0. But that was it. Romania finished top with 6 points. Switzerland finished second with 4 points. And USA did go through because they had 4 points. And that was enough to go through to the next round with 4 points. But Colombia, they were out 3 points. Shock. The Colombians, who were hyped up so much to go through after beating Argentina 5-0 away from home and topping their group ahead of Argentina, were out after losses against Romania and U.S. So after that, it was over. It was basically just over. After the World Cup, the Colombians went back to Colombia. Escobar decided to return to Colombia, but the worried part is he actually had relatives in Las Vegas. So yeah, so this is the evening that the fateful night will come. On the evening of July 1st, 1984, 5 days after Colombia were eliminated, Escobar went out to a bar in El Poblado a neighborhood in Medellin. They went to a liquor store, but and I went to a nightclub, but his friends split up. And at 3 in the morning, I don't know what he was doing at 3 in the morning, because that's already a really bad time to be alone. At 3 in the morning, he was alone in a parking lot called El Indio in his car when 3 men appeared. So these 3 men, they began arguing with him about some things, and Escobar's not a guy who likes to be disagreed with. Push came to shove, and 2 of the men took out guns. And Escobar was shot. And the worst part about this is the worst, like, obviously it's so tragic, but they shot him 6 times, and every time they shot him, they said, go, go, go. Like, go, 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 like the commentators would. And I think this is a reference because after he conceded the own goal, the commentators would go, 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 go. The guys would drive away in a Toyota pickup, leaving Escobar out to die. But he was staying in the hospital. People did find him, but 45 minutes after he died. Pablo Escobar, Andres Escobar. I don't know why I keep on saying Pablo Escobar. Andres Escobar died. 45 minutes later, and this was a tragic incident. And after, on July 2nd, I think, around 16 games, they would commemorate him, honor his life in the following World Cup games. I don't know how to say it, yeah, this was really sad. But like apparently the guys, and this can't be just something. Apparently they killed him basically because they betted a lot of money for Colombia to win. So now we get to the part. So this guy called Humberto Castro Munoz, a drug cartel bodyguard in Colombia, was arrested on the night July 2nd, the day after confessing to the next day the killing of Escobar. Castro also worked as a driver for Santiago Galán, who allegedly lost heavily beating on the outcome of the game. Those 2 guys were the ones who unfortunately killed him. And the guys were actually sent to 43 years in prison, which was reduced to 26, but he was actually, but like whatever, they still had to go to prison. It's really sad. Because, at the end of the day, they're just human beings. At the end of the day, we're all just human beings. And for someone to die because of just a mistake, yes, it's at the World Cup. But what annoys me is they did concede another goal. It's not like they lost 1-0. They did concede another goal and it wasn't his fault. So, it's almost like what could have been. Very sad. And Andres Escobar unfortunately passed away. July 1st, 1994. Actually, it might have been July 2nd, actually, at the time. The guys who did it were obviously drug cartels. They were not good people. I mean, unfortunately, I think Colombia might have been a civil war at the time. Because I know Colombia has been civil wars, but I'm not sure. Colombia, in general, is just place you gotta be on high alerts on, and just in general in South America. Unfortunately, South America is a lot of dodgy areas. Colombia, Peru, even Brazil. I love Brazil, but there's a lot of dodgy areas. So you gotta be on high alert. You can never put your guard down. Escobar did put his guard down, and unfortunately paid the price. If you guys want to see more video essays, then click the like button. I hope you guys like this video. Tragic incident, and any Colombians, I'm very sorry for what happened this incident. And anybody out there, I'm very sorry for what happened this incident. I'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys like these video essays. Want to see more? Click the like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I'll see you guys next time. See ya.